Idly ho there, neighbors. I hope everyone's well. Sorry about not posting yesterday. Weirdness. I'll get into it in a moment. I've had kind of a crappy day. Didn't get a job I was up for, and that kind of makes me grumpy. And I've had an ear infection the past couple of days, so that's awesome. Yes, I plan on going to the doctor about it, but I can't go to the doctor right now, so it's screwing with my hearing in that ear and my sense of balance, and it's kind of annoying. I plan on going to a doctor on Monday about it. Don't judge me. Don't. Okay. Now, the crappy aside, the main reason I didn't post yesterday, although the ear was certainly a factor, was I lost track of time. Now, every once in a while, you'll come across a game that makes you lose track of time. I've done this with Civilization a few times, and StarCraft. StarCraft, I've been known to, back in its heyday, I would play that game until my, eyes would suddenly perceive, oh crap, the sun's coming up. So, it happens. And sometimes you throw yourself into a game, right? Like, Mass Effect 3, when it came out, when I picked up that game, I deliberately sort of threw myself into it, and still love that game. But, last night I decided, what the hell? I'll check out this Minecraft thing that people keep talking about. Now, I primarily talk about tabletop games here, but I do talk about video games from time to time. And I thought, you know what, a lot of people are talking about Minecraft, have been for years. I've never actually played it. Let's check it out, see what the fuss is about. I'm thinking, I'll spend an hour or two, maybe 3, and just, give it a good survey, get an idea of what it's like, get the gist of it. Most of the time when I go for a video game, I actually play for the story more than anything else. And, it didn't strike me that this would have a story, so sure, can't take me that long, I'll get bored eventually. So, around about 3:30 in the morning, I realized I was still playing. I had started at 8:30 at night. So, I have thoughts on this game, and some of them are applicable to tabletop gaming, so bear this in mind. It's a simple game. It's a very simple game. There aren't a lot of mechanics to it. Yes, there are things to learn, but the actual mechanics of it are really simple. And that's interesting. The fun that you're getting out of it is pretty much whatever fun you want to have out of it. You're not following a narrative. Although, like I said, I like narratives. I like stories in games. So that's the primary reason I play them. And yet, I still had a lot of fun sort of making my own sort of thing. It tapped into that builder aspect of myself. And I started making stuff. And on some level, I started building my own story, too. To sort of reflect what I was doing there. Alright, I'm trapped in this terrible wilderness. Alright, what am I going to do? I'm going to start building myself my own little base. I'm going to put walls around it. Have my own little orchard up top. And, I just started getting into it and started making stuff and and trying to come up with a sort of a story in my head of why this is like this. So that's part of it, I think. Also, there's just something really satisfying about building stuff and making things. So there's that. But I think it wouldn't work if there were a bunch of complex mechanics to making all these things work. I think what makes it compelling is it's so simple. I mean, I really just, I ate up the simplicity of it. And if you can remove complexity to get it out of the way of the player just doing stuff and being able to do things, it will drive them to make their own stuff. And it becomes a much more invested process for them. And I really enjoyed that about Minecraft. They don't have a lot of complex graphics. There aren't a lot of, wow, I have to stand back and be in awe of what the graphics department did on this. I really don't have to do that because it's all kind of blocky and silly and what have you. And it's all pretty much procedurally generated. And, there's no point where I'm like, right, I've got to stand back and watch the genius of the creator involved here. No, I don't. What I'm actually able to do is just make stuff and not worry about anything. And anything that's awesome in it is something I made. And that's kind of neat. It just taps into a different portion of the brain that I don't normally get to explore quite as much. A little bit with Civ, but not the same way. Civilization for me is really just sort of trying to come up with in a lot of ways, it's coming up with my own story. And I've often contemplated using it as a basis for designing a world and a history of a world. It ends up getting a good report out that would allow you to get a good snapshot of what all's going on in the world and such. It seems more work than it's worth, so I ended up sort of scrapping the idea. But, it's still very much about building a story and building something in that regard, building a world. And I think Minecraft sort of taps into that much more forcefully, I think, without the interference of the world or an artist's vision or anything like that. It's just a thing that you do, and you make stuff in it, and it's neat. And I'm probably going to spend a lot of time thinking about that game for a while. Eventually I'll get bored with it. I get bored with a lot of games. But it's really neat. I may actually do a Let's Play or something with my game, just to sort of sum up these ideas a little more. I don't know. Anyways, I'll have more, tabletop-y type stuff to talk about later. But that's why I missed yesterday's, because I completely lost track of time playing Minecraft. And it was nice to be pleasantly surprised. And I think there are lessons that you can take from it for tabletop games as well. Simplicity works sometimes. Simplicity, you sometimes having multiple systems and new things to learn and new language and new worlds and so forth gets in the way of the players just starting and playing. Oh. Anyway, that's my thoughts for tonight, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.